All right, NASDAQ, we did fill in that daily gap here. It's totally rebalanced, so there's no displacement here above the highs yet. The 4-hour, we do have one though, and we referred back down almost into the order block, but not very clearly yet. Actually, before we always do this, before we get into that, let's look at the flows first. All right. We'll start with NASDAQ. So NASDAQ dumping calls, enough volume to be interesting or premium, and then puts rising, but then coming back down. Relatively flat into the close here, but they were selling calls and buying puts net, with holdings also being very bearish there on the puts, with calls rising. And calls were rising still here into these lows, though they did sell off a bit back into this, below this area. So must have been a weird thing happening there. Maybe profit taking. So yeah, I still think there's a bearish move looming. The bearish flow didn't really play out today from the prior days. So QQQ, yeah, bearish move maybe ahead on Qs. Also, yes, we'll have to look. We'll combine the QQQ and yes. All right, Russell totally dumped their puts. Not a ton of premium, but still there. If you compare it to prior day, not much. Yeah, seems like they're holding their calls. They really bought calls. They did buy some puts. Look here. So it looks like a big profit taken puts there at the end of the day. The longs may still be in play, but I need a higher time frame SMT there before any of that. So Russell flow bullish looking, but not chart. All right, and then SPY, bearish as fuck puts, bearish as fuck calls. Tide holding. I think some of this is just due to like Nvidia or what. There's like a stock apparently that's going crazy. And puts were rising, but they did dump them into the close there onto this rally. So I think Tide is a little skewed. Very bearish flow on ES. So yeah, that confirms a Q flow there too. So yeah, as for the chart, let's take a quick look at Russell first. So Russell made a new low. Nothing on the higher time frame. And yeah, we're just filling in the fair value gap to go lower. We've rebalanced it all the way. Now, probably gonna come down again. Maybe a box setup long, we'll see. But this one, I just gotta compare it to YM to make it make sense. So into this low, we did have a very clear SMT on the 15-minute. But yeah, I think we would need to take out some significant low. We would need more price action still. But that is a short-term SMT there. I mean, if anything, you could have been trading YM longs once we confirmed that low was in. Every time we created an SMT here, there was a long opportunity right there, boom, up into that high, a new low, not low enough though, just not clean enough. And then we got this one, and most of these provided longs in the Dow. Sorry, NASDAQ and ES. So we'll take a look at those in a minute. But yeah, market structure wise, we just wicked that low, getting rid of the SMT. Maybe we can compare these higher time frame. No. Still, oh, so yeah. Okay, I'm getting distracted. All right, YM. We have that daily fair value gap here. This is gone. Daily fair value gap below relative equal highs. We tapped down into this area, held it, not into discount. Yeah, nothing super clean. We're rejecting. There's no market structure shift on the higher time frame. Oh, was that the 1 hour? Yeah, nothing super clear there. We got a lot of highs to sweep though. There is a market or a SMT here. There for the others, but that's the only thing of interest here. Nothing super clean unless you probably zoom in. A little shift into there, so maybe a pullback and breakout setup. Man, zooms me so out. All right. No shifts here on NASDAQ. Still below this high, as well as YM. We got somewhat relative equal highs, so I think this could take that out and come up into here. We have a clear market structure shift on the 4 hour. We had an SMT low there confirming along, which I missed. Lots of it. So yeah, I think higher on NASDAQ initially. Russell. All right. So yeah, man. ES. ES gave the long SMT in NASDAQ, which is why I think NASDAQ does head higher. I think also if ES cracks these highs, that'll give another SMT if NASDAQ does not. But I think NASDAQ will take out the highs. So what we'll look for is both of them to take out the highs and then maybe a smaller time frame SMT and bullish flow on the open tomorrow. Going back to the higher time frame, ES has shifted here, so that's pretty bullish. Oops. So there's a daily fair value gap there. It is Friday tomorrow, keeping that in mind. We have not shifted above the all-time high though. Whoops. We have this SMT here. Oops. I think that's with NASDAQ. We'll check in a minute. 4 hour also failing to shift here. It's not clean enough for me. But yeah, failing about the highs. Yeah, I still think a reversal is in play soon due to the flows. And then yeah, maybe a pullback long initially. Yeah, I think it's all pretty easy. Now let's look at all right, so let's take a look here at all of them together as friends. S&T here. Did anything make a new low here? That low came in at 725.25. Oh, 724. So it just broke this low. So the SMT there at the lows isn't extremely clean. So maybe we're gonna get a six sister catch up. Maybe that's what might happen. Not what I want to look for normally, but it is very clear SMT. That is a, if we're gonna go rally on Russell, that is very obvious. But yeah, not something I would like totally be confident trading. Um, just because there's nothing on the other time frames. Okay, so we had this SMT here, basically everything, but ES created. So it looks like Russell is getting movement off of these SMTs, and we've rebalanced this. Sort of interesting. Because it seems like if ES is going to make a lower low, it's just weird. Why are NASDAQ and Russell being strong? To me, that just shows that there's a manipulation somewhere. Or at least they're buying NASDAQ and Russell, but then they're selling Russell first. That's a manipulation. So maybe a long could happen here, but probably would trade it smaller just because we don't have a higher time frame SMT if I would ever take it. Very tricky price action here. Yeah, very tough. If we go to 15 minutes, this is the low. YM continued lower lows, whereas Russell higher highs. So I just don't trust that. And NASDAQ put in the low, very similar to Russell. Acted very similar, except on this move it did get that high taken and then broke the high. Yeah, definitely if there's a long, it's going to be in NASDAQ here if we get a pullback. But you could also trade ES and then I don't know. ES got this nice big move here, whereas Russell did not. What about the highs here? Relative equal highs here on YM. We already know everything else is relative equal highs. But on this high, okay, this high, so we made a higher high on NASDAQ here. And a failure on ES and YM. Then we're up into here now on YM. We did take the high, and now NASDAQ is lower. Yeah, I'm too tired, honestly, to think through this straight. But yeah, I'm still looking for an SMT above the highs. I think we do take out all the highs here. I'm thinking hopefully YM does not take out this high. Maybe it just sweeps these and We get a manipulation higher, smaller time frame SMT, boom, bang, we short NASDAQ. But yeah, we'll have to see if anything changes here. It's just not super clear. Other than that, the short is there, but it's not confirmed yet. So we'll see. All right, that is the plan for